first word is that I'm going to use in my definition also is transaction. Yeah, students, you are here to learn from me. That means you don't know anything. That's how I take it for granted. Okay, so whatever little you say, I appreciate that. Okay, so you don't even know ABCD of accounting, but when you make an attempt, it is something. It's some contribution from your side. And I like the session to be interactive. Otherwise, you know, I'm looking into the mic and I don't know who I'm looking into. So, and I keep looking here and there. I'm also confused where to look exactly. So please make it interactive. So I know I'm surrounded by people, which I always like. So tell me, have you heard of this word transaction? Last time Yash Pradhan had told us about, he saw this word in the bank, right Yash?
Yes, sir.
Banking transactions, he had said. Anybody else? I could be learning from you. So please tell me also. Anywhere else you came across this word transaction? Anything related?
Sir, online transaction.
Okay, online transactions. Okay, good. Yes, online transaction. Anything else, students, from your side? Okay, so I will tell you now. Good that, you know, awareness is very important, students. You know, even if you don't say the exact answer, but you are aware, like online transactions, someone said. So it makes a lot of sense. Even I had not thought of it. Okay. So transaction now is a business deal between two or more people. Okay. Now, as we go on discussing, it will become more clearer when I use the first sentence, business deal and all that becomes a little difficult to understand, but slowly you will. You have to keep hearing and then put everything together. So it's a business deal between two or more people. That's a transaction. In simple words, remember students, we are going to do accounting of business. Last time I told you, account for your marks in the examination, you account for the scores in cricket and football and all that. But we are going to deal with business accounting, account of a business. So when we say we are doing business, you deal with a lot of people. And when you deal with a lot of people, you are buying something, you are selling something, you are paying money, you are borrowing money from someone, you are giving discount to someone. Okay. So you come across a lot of deals. These are the deals you do. Dealing, day-to-day dealing. You deal with yourself. You are going for a party. You do a lot of things. You dress up. Okay. You wear a perfume. You wear your best clothes. You arrange for transport. A lot of things are being done. So like that in business, a lot of things are done. And whatever deals or whatever things that happen in the business is called a transaction. So we will be accounting for all those transactions. Okay, so I said receiving money, giving money, borrowing money, lending money, buying, selling, dealing with customers, dealing with suppliers, dealing with companies, dealing with the government officials, dealing with the shop inspectors, okay, the corporation, the municipality. You are going to deal with a lot of people. You deal with your customers, okay. So all those deals are called transactions. So someone said online transaction. That means you are buying something online. You're ordering from Amazon or from other service providers. Can you tell me? I only know Amazon. Which other?
Myntra.
Flipkart.
Sir, Snapdeal.
Flipkart, Snapdeal, very good. Bolo,
Bomb.
online.
Myntra.
Flipkart.
Yeah.
Jabong.
Okay, good. You told me a lot of things. So you order from them for food. You may order clothes. You might order your stationery. Okay. So those are transactions. Correct. So business transactions, those must be your household transactions. We are going to do with business transactions. So suppose now just imagine I have a class, okay. And suppose I tell you to run that class. So you will be dealing with collecting fees from the students, paying salary to the office staff there, paying to the teachers, okay, buying stationery for the class, paying electricity bill of the class, correct, paying taxes of the class. So these are called transactions, and they are always in terms of money, correct. It is money's worth, equal to money or money's worth, because every transaction, okay, you pay money, you receive money, you pay salary, you receive fees, you buy stationery, you pay, and all that. So these are called as cash transactions. But students, there are also credit transaction. You buy stationery and tell that shopkeeper, I'll pay you later, keep my account, tell me at the end of the month, because every day I'm buying some stationery or the other, and you don't want to every day pay. So you tell him that I want 1 month's credit. So you keep my account, and whatever printouts I take, whatever books I buy, whatever pen, pencil, ink, eraser I buy, keep writing it and tell me my stationery bill at the end of the month. So those are called as credit transactions. Okay. So transactions basically are of two types. Basically, there are three types, but two types. One is cash transaction, the other is credit transaction. Okay. In the olden days, you had barter exchange. Anybody knows what is the meaning of barter exchange?
Exchange of goods for
Yes,
another
sir.
good.
Goods.
Another good.
Exchange of goods and exchange of goods.
Okay, very good. So you all know, I can see that. Exchange of goods for goods. Okay, then you will ask me, sir, what is this goods? So we are going to even define goods later on. In the olden days, no students, currency was not there. Cash was not there. So printing was not there, and coins were there, of course, because they could be minted. You could press it and put one some sort of a symbol on it, and very old coins we get to see. But in those days, currency was not there. So there was barter exchange. So everybody was a trader in those days. There was a farmer, there was a weaver, there was a carpenter, there was a cobbler. Everybody went by the profession, a particular profession. So each one produced their own material. And a person who was weaving cloth, okay, he would take his cloth to the farmer and say, I want grains. So the farmer would give him grains, and in exchange, this person would give him cloth. So everybody took their own product and exchanged it with something else. So that was called barter exchange. No money. If I am a farmer and you are a weaver, then I would give my grains to you, you would give me the cloth, and that's how the transaction was completed. Those are called as barter transactions. No more in use these days. Okay, though on a small scale it might happen, but it is always valued in terms of money. Like, for example, I have a cloth shop and you come there and you want to buy cloth, and you buy cloth from me worth 2,000 rupees. Okay, then you could be a person having a grocery shop, and since I know you, I'll say, don't worry, let that 2,000 be there. I wanted to buy rice from you. I'll come and buy rice worth 2,000. Now this is only squaring up, okay, because value is attached. So a little barter exchange can happen, but not on a bigger scale. Normally, it is always valued properly in terms of money, and cash payment now or later. Now is called cash transaction. If you pay later, it is called credit transaction. So transactions are of three types: cash transaction, credit transaction, barter exchange. Barter exchange is called as non-monetary transactions. Okay. So if you look into this note, students, this is page number 7 in your textbook, and this particular note here, you know, monetary transactions and non-monetary transaction. Under that, 1 cash transaction, 2 credit transaction, and the third one is exchange barter transactions, the B. Non-monetary transaction is called as barter transaction. Can you see that word barter?
Yes, sir.
I have highlighted it with yellow. So you can say cash transaction, credit transaction, and barter transactions. These are the three types of transactions. Have you got it? So I'll be using the word transactions. So we have to account for it. So students, suppose now I am running the classes and I appoint you as an accountant, and I'll tell you, please be at the reception. Any parents come and all, you talk to them and tell them about our classes, that we take all subjects, this is our result, and these are our timings. And people come and take admission. So when they take admission, you will collect money from them. You will put it in one box. And then you will say, sir, 5 students paid money today. Aryan paid, Yash paid, Anam paid, Rujuta paid, and Nishita paid. And this is the amount that they pay. And you give me that money. So you have done proper accounting of one particular transaction. All of them were cash transactions. Okay. And it was income. For me, it was an income. So transactions could be in the form of incomes. Then you say, sir, tomorrow no, we have to pay our rent and our electricity bill. So you are paying for 2 transactions. Rent paying is one transaction. Paying electricity bill is another transaction. And then you keep an account. So some transactions are of income and some transactions are of expenditure. So we account for incomes and expenses. Then you say, sir, we have to buy stationery. We need money. And I'll tell you, no, we don't have to pay him. You just get the stationery. So you have bought stationery, transaction took place. Only thing, exchange of money did not take place. Exchange will take later. I'll say, no, we have to pay him next month. You don't have to pay him now. So that is your credit transaction. So transactions could be for incomes, expenses. They could be a transaction in which you make profit. They could be a transaction in which you make loss, and all of that. Okay. So I will be using these word transactions. So students here, when you actually start solving problems, the question given to you will be, following are the transaction of XYZ businessman, and do accounting. Okay. When they tell you do accounting, then you will say, sir, where do I write everything? So I'll give you a notebook. And students, that notebook in accountancy is called either a journal or a ledger. So you will now get to 2 different words. What is a journal and what is a ledger? So I'm going to not go in a particular order, because I'll go in the order as I'm going to use words. So you will have to know the meaning of the word what is a journal. So students, this is suppose your page, okay? And in page, the page in accountancy is called as folio. Students, you have taken a notebook and pencil and pen with you. I told you one of the things that you should do, just scribble. Write what comes to your mind. There is no definition. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Just any word that you feel like write. There's no fixed format of it. So whatever you want, you write. I will not force you, neither I'm going to tell you in particular. But that writing of yours is very important. It could be any rubbish. It's any scribbling. It could be just drawing a tree there, but please draw that. Okay, whatever comes to your mind. So one page is called as folio. So page number of a notebook, okay, a page of an accounting book is called as folio. You got it? So as I said, there are 2 types of books of accounts. One is called the journal and the other is called a ledger. Okay. So books of accounts. There are only 2 types. Accounting for the transaction. One is called journal and the second thing is called a ledger. Now students, when transactions take place, you purchased goods. So you first put it in the journal, purchase of goods. And you have to write in a particular way. Now you don't know that way. In fact, if once you learn how to write it in that, you have completed 11th standard. It's like that. If you only know how to put the transaction into the journal, your 11th standard knowledge is complete, students. Because those who know journal entries do all accounting for life. So writing in a particular way into a journal is very important. There are people who pass out, who have become accountant, who are working as cashiers and accountant, and you tell them to pass a journal entry, you will be surprised they won't know. And there are many like that. Okay, of course a chartered accountant is always ready with answers, but I'll tell you about normal accounting people. There would be only maybe 5 to 10% who will be able to write the basic book that is called a journal. So students, you are sitting with a notebook right now, you can call it journal. It depends what types of table you draw in that. So journal, in the journal you draw a particular type of table. So right now you don't know how to draw that table. Let it be, we are not going to draw that. But now when you purchase goods, you have to write it in a particular way into the journal. Now journal is called the original book of records. Recording what? Transaction. Correct? Or it's the primary book of recording a transaction. Now when you write purchase of goods into the journal in a particular way, writing a transaction in the journal is called entry. Okay. So students, the second word after transaction was entry, and without explaining to you what is a journal and ledger, it would have become very difficult for me to explain the meaning of the word entry. So you enter the transaction into the journal first. So they say whenever transaction takes place, you first enter it into the journal. And entering a transaction into the journal is called journal entry. Journal entry. Have you all got that? So you write essays in your notebook. You solve mathematics in your notebook. So like that, a transaction is written in the book. There are two types of books. One is called journal and one is called ledger. So recording a transaction into the journal is called a journal entry. Now, as a transaction takes place, like suppose morning you open the office and the first thing is that you order for tea. So your first transaction is spending money for chai. Okay. Next, the second thing is that you want to buy some newspaper. So second transaction is purchase of newspaper. Recording in the journal as it takes place. You put the date and put the timing also there if you want. Third thing is that you have ordered for some stationery and you record it in the journal. Third thing happened. Fourth, you had to pay some cleaning charges. So fourth transaction, paid for cleaning charges. All these you are entering into the journal, and what you are doing is that passing a journal entry. Recording a transaction into the journal is called journal entry. I'll ask you after 5 minutes the same question. So remember this. Now the next is called ledger, another book. There are two notebooks you have to maintain. One is notebook, journal. The other notebook is ledger. Now what you do once you have entered the transaction in the journal, at the end of the day or end of a session, morning session, or end of the month or whatever period, okay, you analyze a transaction and post it in the ledger. Post it in the ledger. The word to be used by you is post. So posting in the writing in the ledger is called as posting in the ledger. So writing a transaction in the journal is called entry. Analyzing that transaction, putting it type wise, heading wise, okay, rewriting that entry into the ledger is called as posting. So you have on one hand journal entry and the other is called as ledger posting. So I want you to know the meaning of these two words, entry and posting. Got it, students? So now I'll tell you. What happens is that in the journal, you're writing as it takes place. I told you in the morning you spend money on buying chai. Second is that you spend money on buying a newspaper. Third, in the business, third thing is that you order for some stationery. Okay, you pay rent. Then you collect some fees from the students. So whatever is happening, you are going on recording as it happens. Date wise, time wise, you are recording one after the other in chronological order. In the order of the dates, order of the timing, you are recording one after the other into the journal. Then you analyze that. Okay, put it type wise. Type wise means I'll tell you. In the ledger, put all expenses together. Then put all incomes together. Then all stationery purchased, under that expenditure again make different heads. Put all stationery together. Then put all fees together. So that if I ask you what is the total fees purchased, you will say, sir, total fees for the month is 5 lakhs of rupees. Then I'll tell you what is the stationery expenses for the month, and you say stationery expenses for the month is 7,000 rupees. Then I'll tell you you were getting tea for a lot of customers who come to the shop. What is the total bill on chai pani? And you say, sir, it is 10,000 rupees. So you are taking all the transactions from the journal and type wise you analyze it and then enter it into the ledger. So same transactions are entered into the journal and ledger, but when you write it in the journal it is called entry, and when you write it in the ledger it is called posting. Got these two words, students, entry and posting? Okay, I'm going to go back to page number 6, 7. I'm going to go back there because we had left the word transaction and gone somewhere else. And if you look at the transaction, the first below transaction is entry. Are you looking at the meaning of entry now? So see here, recording of a business transaction in the proper form or method in the book of account is called an entry. And what is this book of account now, students? You'll be able to tell me.
Journal.
Journal.
Very good. So your own notes, your own fill in the blanks will be called a journal. Okay. So here you got to learn two things now. What is a journal? It's a book of account. And it is which book of account? The original book of accounts. Original, because the origin of any transactions is entered into the journal.
Sure.
Yeah. Primary entry or whatever you call it. So you got the meaning of the word entry, students? If I had to ask you a question before, okay, you don't know anything about this accounting term entry, what you would have told me, students? Tell me. If I had to ask you, have you heard of this word entry? Tell me anything that comes to your mind. Come on.
Writing in the journal.
Yeah, this is, you acquired the knowledge now. Suppose before acquiring any knowledge, I had to ask you, student, what is entry? What would you say?
The filling up of
Right.
information.
Writing, recording
Writing anything in the book.
Yeah.
You are telling me proper answer. Suppose now you didn't know before I could explain to you. And I had to ask
That's
you.
what we thought.
Yeah, writing.
writing.
Entered in somewhere.
Yeah, we thought writing somewhere.
Okay. No, you know what? Before this, if someone had to ask me, I said, yeah, entry is written when you enter somewhere into a bank or any office and all. There may be two doors. One is for entry and the one is for exit. So entry and exit is what I would have said. So that's what I want to hear from you. That if I hadn't to explain all this journal, recording, transaction, and everything, and I had to ask you, have you ever heard of the word entry? And I would have said this, that entry means enter somewhere and exit. Okay, so that's what it is. But you have to relate that thing, because because you enter the transaction into the journal, that's why it is called entry. Okay. So, before and after, we want to see that effect, before and after. So I'm not going to explain to you in the next word as narration. Don't even read it. Let us see now what are the answers. Students, do you all know there is a test called as psychology test? The army entrance exams. What is the army entrance exams that you all know? Boys? Why not girls also? What are the different entrance examination to get into Army, Navy, Air Force?
Sir, UPSC.
Yeah, Soumya?
UPSC.
UPS.
sir.
With UPSC, you will become a police officer, commissioner, collector, district collector. And students, if you're thinking of UPSC, great. Huh? One day I'll get a chance to come to your big palace and at least have chai pani there. UPSC is a very big thing. You can dream of becoming a IAS officer and all with the help of those exams. But they are into public service students. I'm talking about going into the army and all.
There's
Have you heard
the
of-
Indian
Indian
Army
Army and all?
Havaldar, Havaldar examination. Then there's the
Indian
Territorial Army examination.
But these are, again, local bandobast and police and all that. If you have to go into the
NDA exam.
India
yes,
exam.
very good. I wanted to hear that. NDA. Students, we have to be all-rounders. We have to know everything. Tomorrow I'll ask you, someone is troubling you a lot, and how would you retaliate? What words you would use against? You have to know the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, everything. Education. You know what Gandhiji's definition of was for education? All-round development of body, mind, and soul. That means you have to have a good physique, endurance test and whatever, Iron Man and all those things. So good body, good strength, body, mind, always develop. Mind doesn't mean you know only accountancy. You have to know everything. The wrong, the right, the bad, the good, everything. Because if you know the bad, you'll be very careful. You'll be a better person. You will be able to supervise others, what bad that person can do. So you have to know both the sides of the coin, the good, the bad. Okay? So all-rounders, we want you to become all-rounders. If you get less marks, I don't mind if you tell me, sir, besides accountancy, I'm an excellent athlete. I have won the marathon. Wow. That would be great. So we want you to be all-rounders. The all-rounders in cricket, they are not highest run getters, nor they are the highest wicket-taking bowlers. They do a bit of both, but they can be very, very effective. Okay, so I want you to become that all-rounder. So answer both the things, the right also and the wrong also. It's very important to know what is wrong. Suppose you have a multiple choice questions. You know true or false, students?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll give you 10 true or false, okay? I'll give you 10 of them. And I'll tell you, students, all 10 I'm going to tell you the wrong answers. And I write wrong answers. First one true, the correct answer is false. The second one, wrong answer is true. What will you say? That also is false.
False.
I'll tell you. Fifth one is false. This is my wrong answer.
It would
Can
be
you
true.
know?
It would be
Correct
true.
answer is true. Yeah. So that is why I must be the only teacher, students, telling you do anything that is wrong also. There is a big reason for that, students. I want you to fail. I want you to tell me wrong answers. Isn't it funny? But there is a very good reason. You will find out in a few days why I keep telling you to make an attempt. Okay? Why go wrong? If you can't go right, no students, you have to go wrong. If you are going this, near my house, it is University Road. The
Yes.
floor has come down. Have you
Yes,
seen?
sir.
Yeah. You have to know both the things, which is the wrong route and which is the correct route. And when you cannot go by the correct route, it is closed. Wrong route is the answer. Right now, wrong route is being created there. So you have to know both what is right and what is wrong, what is left and what is right, which side of the road you should walk and drive, everything you have to know, the right as well as the wrong. Then that is knowledge. Knowledge doesn't mean only knowing the right. Knowledge means even knowing the wrong. Okay. We always talk about, we look at the moon every day. Not every day, half the time. So we only see one side of the moon, the lit part. We are always curious to know what is the other. And people have spent lots of money. Countries, people are starving, but they want to send a mission to the moon, Mars and all, just to find out what is the other side. Knowledge. And to gain knowledge, if not the right way, also the wrong way as well. Okay. So without looking at the explanation, I want you to tell me, have you heard of this word narration? Bolo.
Narration.
Narration.
During a story, like narration. during
Narrating a
story.
story. Correct.
It's a story.
Narrating a story. Very good.
Narrating an incident.
Yes. So, you are absolutely right. So, incident, story, exactly. That's what I wanted to know. And in accountancy, when you write a entry, journal entry, when you write a transaction, no? Now, when you pay money in a students for a transaction, you purchased a pen, okay? You have to supposed to write into the journal that you purchased a pen, but you do not write like an essay. I purchased a pen for rupees 20. You don't write it. There's a particular way. And the moment you learn that particular way means your studies in 11th standard is over, by the way. If you are able to write that part, how to write purchased a pen in the journal, 11th standard is over for you. If you know that much, 11th is over. But it is not just purchased a pen. It is purchased pen, purchased car, purchased stationery, purchased a lot of things, land, furniture, investments, gold, silver, whatever purchase, how to write. So there are thousands of such transactions, okay? And if you can write those into the journal, 11th standard passed full marks. It's like that. Okay. So we will not go into those details, but every time you write, you have to write a small story. You have to write that incidents in the bracket in a small way. Okay. And that is called a narration. So narration is a description of the entry, meaning of the entry, a small note of that entry. Because I'll tell you, when you purchase a pen, the journal entry, you don't know, but I'll tell you, is pen account debit to cash account credit. Now you will say, sir, I think I'm not on the earth.
What is this, sir?
What is this? What you're talking about, this debit, credit and cash and pen, and you said so many things, we did not catch up anything exactly. Okay. People who are lay people who have not done accounting, they do not understand what that thing entry is. But in a bracket, it is an entry, okay, for purchase of pen. We write in the bracket. You'll say, oh, pen is purchased. That's why something very Greek, Latin looking things have been written. But whatever is written and 20 rupees is put there, that means 20 rupees is spent for buying the pen. So a lay person will understand that whatever has been written is written because pen was purchased for rupees 20. Oh, so this person spent money for buying pen. So we know where that 20 rupees is gone. So there was a cash box in there. There was a lot of money and you find as a owner 20 rupees missing. You go into the accounts book and you say something that accountant has written. I've hired him because he knows how to write. Oh, he has purchased a pen. That's why 20 rupees is gone. So narration is a small story, is a small incident which is described below the journal entry in the bracket. And this could be just 3 words: being pen purchased, being furniture purchased, or being fees collected. So if I tell you being fees collected, immediately you come to know, oh, someone must have paid fees today. Then being rent paid, then you say, oh, rent was paid of the place today. Correct? At so and so time, at so and so day. So narration help us to understand the entry. Have you got what is the meaning of narration?
Yes.
sir.
And the answer came exactly from you. You told me story and incident. Those 2 words were enough for us. Okay. Now we go on to the third word, goods. Okay. Have you heard of the word goods before?
Yes.
Tell me anything. I also have one. I also have something in my head other than accounts. Goods meaning. You tell me afterwards. I'll tell you what came to my mind.
Goods are products which are used for our,
Yeah.
which we get for personal use,
Okay.
which can benefit us.
Okay. Students, you know what came into my head when I said goods? What's the meaning? If I was not
Goods
an
and
accounts teacher,
goods
for
and
me, I was thinking of the goods train. I was thinking of those wagons attached to a engine in the front. And we used to call it goods train. Now that's because of my exposure to the railways. I used to live in a railway colony where my father used to work in the railways. So for us, looking at the train was our house also was close, very close to the railway track also. So the trains would go and we would say, oh, it's a goods train. No, the other train is the passenger train. So whenever this word comes to my mind, goods, the train comes in front of my eyes. So as I said, the army officers, they used to have one psychological test. They're given one word and they used to ask, tell us what came to your mind with this word. And there was that psychological test. They would know the nature of the person or the background of that person. So one word, what comes to your mind. So anyway, but goods train also means, now goods are things, material. Okay, it could be food, it could be those trains, that goods train. What all they must be carrying? Can you tell me?
charcoal,
Yes,
coal.
coal. Yes, correct. In the olden days, majority of the goods train is to carry coal, because in those days, in the olden days, the coal was a very, very heavy object. Carrying it in a truck would be very small quantity, and it is very heavy also. So the railway track actually started with carrying coal and transportation of that coal. So bulk transport, and one of the commodities was coal. But slowly, other things. So what all it carries besides coal?
Stones,
Fertilizers.
Stones, fertilizers, yes.
wheat,
Grains, wheat, jawar,
Grains,
bajra,
grains.
rice, yes. What all it's carrying?
Sugar.
Sugar, yes.
Vehicles. Sir,
Vehicles,
oil.
yeah, vehicles,
Sir, petroleum.
Petroleum.
vehicles.
You seen that petrol wala train?
Tanks
how it looks?
वगैरह. Yes, sir.
It has those tanks,
Cylindrical.
same like the
Army tanks
mounted-
also. Army tanks also.
Army tanks also, yes. Cement, it carries cement. Have you seen those bags of cement?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you, in Pune, where is Mal Dhakka?
No.
No? Anybody knows Mal Dhakka?
No, sir.
Hey,
No.
someone must be knowing, I'm sure.
No.
Yes. Okay, anyway, Mal Dhakka, is a railway siding where at that Mal Dhakka, all the goods train is to come there, and they is to unload cement there, grains there, and it is situated, where just
Pimpri Chinchwad, right?
no, there could be a Mal Dhakka there, okay, but in Pune it is just before Sassoon Hospital. When we go from our area, from Shivaji Nagar area, if you're going towards camp, on the way you come to a signal called as Mal Dhakka signal. Anybody now got it? It's a very old structures around there. very old. So it is called Maldakka because there is a railway siding. Railway siding means where the goods train will come and unload all the goods there. Okay. So students, you already told me the meaning of the word goods. Someone said product, that was a good answer. And you did tell me different types of goods, different types. So students, in business, suppose I am a dealer in cement. I will buy cement bags and sell cement bags, and for me, I will call them as goods. Now you have a cloth shop. So the trousers, the shirt, the t-shirts, and all that will be your goods. Someone has a furniture shop. The chair, the table, the cupboards, the drawers, those are called goods. Someone has an electric shop. Can you tell me what all you get in an electric shop? Come on, tell me.
bulbs,
Light,
Bulb.
bulb,
Wires.
Wires.
Wires, tube lights. Don't stop.
Sir, every-
AC,
switches,
Switches. बोलते जाओ.
fans, fans,
Fans. Yes. Very good.
AC,
Yeah. Good. So you have told me quite a bit. Those are goods for that businessman. So any businessman who deals in a particular product, that product he calls it goods. So students, suppose you and me are two businessmen, only two, don't think of others. You have a cloth shop. So what are you selling? Trousers, shirts, t-shirts, frocks, whatever.
sarees,
Okay. I have a furniture shop. I sell chairs, cupboards, dining
tables,
table, stools, etc. Okay. I call it goods. In my shop, all these things are called goods. And in your shop, all that cloth and everything, you call it goods. Now students, I have a furniture shop. My shop is closed on Sunday and I go shopping and I come to your shop there. And I want to buy one nice t-shirt from you. I buy the t-shirt. What did you sell, students? Goods. You sold your goods. What I bought?
Product.
t-shirt,
I bought a t-shirt and I'll not call it goods. So goods are those items, those products, those articles which a businessman deals in it. Tomorrow you want to, in your shop, you want to sit on a chair and you buy one chair from me. Okay. You will not call it goods because for you goods are everything dealing in cloth. So whatever product you deal in is called your goods. Have you all got it now?
yes,
yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, meaning of the word goods. So once we discuss students and you all read, you all will understand. So when you read everything about goods, you will realize. So students, see how absorbing today's day was. I did not realize that it is almost about 10 minutes to 11. 1 hour is gone so fast. 10 to 11. And what did we discuss
Yes,
today?
sir.
Tell me.
Transactions.
Very good.
Transactions,
Books of
Transactions.
accounts. Journal, ledger.
journal,
books
ledger,
of accounts,
Expense,
journal,
income.
ledger,
Narration
post entry, goods,
Goods.
Expenses, income.
expenses,
Yeah. But like that,
journal,
yeah, you are almost telling me, but it is very good that you all have remembered so many things. What I myself told you, I don't remember, but you could remember a lot of things. I was expecting you will only tell me today we studied first transactions and we studied 3 type of transaction, that is cash transaction where you only take money, give money. That
credit,
is credit
Credit
transaction.
and barter.
and debit.
barter
Barter
transaction,
transaction.
That is one. And then I wanted to explain to you the meaning of the word entry, but I could not explain to you entry without telling you what is a journal.
journal,
So entry is something that you write in the journal.
journal,
And then a brief explanation, a brief description, or you said a small story, a small incident.
narration,
Explaining the meaning of the journal entry is called as narration.
Narration.
Yeah. And the last we studied is what is goods.
goods,
So students, while we are studying accounting, many a times teachers use different words. And when we don't understand the meaning of the words, we don't understand what that person or that lady is telling us. I'll tell you my example. When I was in school, in college, my English was not all that good. Even today, it is not all that good. Okay, so language is a big barrier for me. So there were some subjects. Now you all have organization of commerce, correct? And you have secretarial practice, SP. Now one sentence was there once explaining about the share market. And in that share market, no, one sentence about the share market was, when the price of shares nosedived, and I was, my God, what is this nosedived? I know what is a nose, and I know what is diving into the water, but what is this nosedive? And because I did not understand that meaning, I could not learn that. Years later, I realized I used to learn by heart everything. When I don't understand, I used to say, forget it, yeah. Read that sentence 20 times. I read it so many times, students, that I'm able to tell you even today after 45 years. Can you believe that? 45 years passed and I did not forget that sentence. So just imagine how many times I must have read that. So my funda in those days was like this. If you don't understand, forget about it. Learn by heart and write the answer in the examination and get good marks. People used to think I'm very intelligent, but I knew nothing. Okay. So if I had to know what is the meaning of nosedive means the price of those shares have come down. That was the meaning.
Extremely down.
Yeah, extremely down. Right. Then later on, I came to know when the planes crash and all, and they go into the water and all, and that's the end of it. They say it nosedived, means straight, head down, and its wings and tail behind. That meaning came to me very, very later. Now you have two things out of this to learn. Use my funda. When you don't understand a lot of things, students, learn by heart temporary. Afterwards, you will be much better person, much better student. You will be able to write one essay on nosedive. Okay, or whatever you learn. So you learn with explanation. You learn mechanically also. And I'll tell you, as I say, you learn with your ears, with your eyes. Right now with eyes is very little because you can't see me. But when I'm in the classroom and I move around and the expressions that I make, those are called as gestures in teaching. My pointing out to particular word and all, that helps you to understand. With you having your pen and pencil in your hand and you're scribbling in the notebook, you put that senses, okay? And you are analyzing things, and when you're answering, you're putting your tongue to use. You may answer right or wrong, but your focus is there. You told the answer, then someone else tells the answer. Your answer, that answer differs. You start even thinking with your brain, what's happening? I said something, that person is saying something, and the teacher said, that person is right. Oh my God, I should forget my answer. I should remember that one's answer. So these are the ways to learn better. Okay? So students, we will continue your good work, okay, now on Monday. So I'm going to say bye-bye to you now.
Yes, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Yes,
And
Bye, sir.
do send me a
Thank you,
message
sir.
for
Thank you,
anything.
sir.
Okay, call me or send me a message for anything that you want. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, have a great
Thank you,
weekend.
sir.
Stay
Thank you,
safe,
sir.
stay
Thank
indoors.
you, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
welcome.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye.